4, guys. Got some cool new upgrades for the Rex 3, my 2022 Can-Am X3 that we're going to be doing today, getting it ready for a big dune trip the next 2 weekends from the sounds of it. And I just got to get this thing dialed in, running good, tightened up, and ready for a long weekend. So I'll show you some of the stuff we're going to be throwing on there. Got my co-driver here. He's inspecting stuff. He might actually work on this today. That'd be great. First things first, guys. This thing, as you know, has the STM Power Sports Rage 4 primary on this thing. I got the cover on right now so you can't see it, but it's hiding underneath there. And this has been set up for basically just trail riding, which it's worked extremely well. But I've wanted to get some more engagement out of this thing to utilize this magic box right here, Dynojet launch control module from Wayland Speed R&D. So this is configured so it comes with the steering wheel button. So you just press that button, that'll activate the launch control. And we'll be able to make some pops and bangs, some pop-pops, and build some boost on the starting line so I can hopefully get a hole shot the next time I race this thing. So going to need that at Silver Lake. There's always drag racing going on there, and I can't be freaking out there getting smoked off the line. So we're going to install that. We're going to install the primary spring. Got a new belt, world's best belt. Those things work great. And we got to, just pop this stuff off, run some wires. Hopefully that should be pretty simple. I haven't hooked one up with the button. It looks like it's just the same way you would hook one up with the override switch, just wired in differently. So should be super simple. I'm going to back this thing out and get working on it. We also got some stuff we got to do to the front end. I'm going to take the front tires off. Actually, I got to take all the tires off because I got to put paddles on it. And I've got these CA adjustable ball joints on this thing. Been a few rides, and you got to tighten them up, grease them every few rides. That's right now. I'll grease the control arm bushings while I have it up and jacked up too. And this thing will just be ready for a long weekend. So let's back it outside. It's a super nice day out. And get to working on this thing. Long time coming for some of this stuff. I'm very excited. The Rex 3 is due for a new battery, but these stock ones I've had really good luck with. So she always starts. Wish I was sponsored by these guys. I'm not. Tools just work so good. They make working on these machines a freaking breeze. Way faster than the old hand tool route. So take these CVT clutch cover bolts off, and we'll see how we're doing in the old belt and clutch department. It's been a while since I've had this off of here. Hasn't had a belt in a very long time. I'm interested to see how this world's best belt's looking. All right, let's check this unit out. Decent. Not looking too shabby. I've definitely seen worse belts. Let's get this secondary opened up and pop the belt off. See how everything looks. Belt was looking not too shabby. Couple spots on there were kind of ick. This will make a good spare. But for what this thing has seen as far as abuse goes, pretty impressed with it. So I'm just going to pop the primary off and do this on my workbench. STM has a tool that you can thread in and collapse the cover so you can pop the cover off easily and not have to worry about the spring tension. It'll slowly let it out. I don't have that. So I'm going to just do it on my bench with the tools I got. And we'll be all good. So taking this clutch off, super simple. I got to take the sway bar link off, take the bolt out, get my puller, and just pop that unit off. So no big deal. So unfortunately, I don't have the right length threaded rod. We need one that comes up to about yay to make this correct. But fortunately, I can probably put my gut on this thing and get it to go down. So I think that's probably the way we're going to do that. So we've got to take these cover bolts off, and then once those are off, that'll lift up. We'll be able to swap the spring out. And I made the executive decision. I'm going to shim this primary spring too, get a little bit more engagement out of it. So I think that stuff's upstairs. I got to go grab that. But yeah, very simple. 8 bolts here. Take that off, new spring, shim, call it a day. Go back together. All right, got our spring out. Gut trick worked good. Can see our old spring on the left compared to the new one on the right. A little bit taller. Can't really tell if the coil's a little bit thicker. Definitely taller though. And with the shim, I think we're going to be about 2,800 RPM, which should be perfect. A couple of my weights were not moving the freest. You can see this one is, it doesn't really return. So I'm going to just pop these out and clean up the pins a little bit. You can see that one hangs a little bit. That's just what you're going to get when you drive in dusty, dirty environment. So nothing too crazy there. Just got to take out these Allens right there. Pop the pin out. Clean them out with a little wire brush. Go back together. No big deal. All right, we're back in business. Clutches are on. New belts on. Find where this dang key went. I probably lost it. Oh, no. There it is. Let's see what our engagement is. So we'll get this thing to grab a couple times, and we'll retorque the primary. Debating if I want to change the oil in this thing. I do. I'm running out of time. See what our RPM is. Dang, pretty low still, honestly. Higher than it was, but about 24 maybe. $2,300. It'll be fine. Okay, next up is getting this launch control module installed. This is a pretty simple install. So we have to mount the box on the plastic behind the passenger seat. We have a ground wire we have to connect to the battery, negative terminal. And then we have these inline connectors. So this is going to go in between the wiring harness for the coils and the coils. Just kind of tease in there. And then we have to run this to the front of the machine up to, this is my favorite part, 100%. Our freaking launch control button right there. Oh my gosh, that is freaking, I'm going to have that thing worn out day one using this thing. Almost guarantee it. So I'm going to pop that seat out, and probably going to have to clean that plastic up a little bit so we can make sure the adhesive holds this box to the plastic. Installation on this stuff, guys, critical. Do a good job at installing it. You won't have any problems with it. Do a bunk job, your stuff's going to be bunk, so don't do that. But let's get this seat out of here real quick. So here's where my module is going to sit. They give you an alcohol wipe to clean up your plastic and some Velcro in the event you do need to take it off, but it's sitting there pretty nice, out of the way. Even if you do mud this thing, it's super high up, so it shouldn't be affected. Now I'm going to drill a couple holes to get these wires mounted. Zip tie, and then we got to route this harness back to the coils, and then take that piece of plastic off and that one, and then run that wire for our launch control button up to there, zip tie some stuff out of the way. That's it. We'll test it out. All right, we got all of our coil connectors plugged in, the crankshaft position sensor splice plugged in, ready to fire this thing up, see how she sounds. Oh, let's see here. Pretty good considering our engagement. Curious to see how it'll rip. Let's get this thing put back together. That turned out really good. Clint. So we're in pretty good shape. Clutch is tuned up, launch controls in. We last two steps I should say. Gotta get these ball joints tightened up and put our dune wheels on. And then this thing's ready to get. So I'm gonna pop one of these wheels off, show you guys the procedure on tightening up that CA adjustable ball joint. Repeat on the other three. Put our wheels on, we're good to go. All right, we got the wheel off. So what we're gonna have to do is take this part right here off our ball joint. Obviously it's already installed on the machine, so we're not gonna worry about the install. This is just the adjustment. Where's that guy going? So we're gonna take this off. What is that, 17 I believe? 16 fits that unit pretty good. So we're gonna buzz that off. And with that loosen up, and removed inside here is our 10 millimeter adjuster. Actually, 7/16 fits this unit very well. So we got it all the way tightened up, and then we're just going to back this off 1/8 of a turn. So right about like that. That's it. We put this back on, torque it down to 70, pump that sucker full of grease, and move on. 3 more.
Man, does your stuff always just break?
The only answer is yes. It always breaks, literally every time. So, oh man, you know, guys, this thing was down for several months. We'll call it 3 months. Broke the front diff, and now what we're experiencing is what appears to be another broken front diff in some way, shape, or form. So, if you can, if you have smell-o-vision, which you probably don't, you'd be able to pick up the odor of synthetic lubricant for the front differential. Is it leaking somewhere? What I would call immensely. I've been hearing the drive shaft rattle. I don't know if that's related. Haven't put much thought into that, but I guess it's time to figure that out. So stand by while we diagnose this real quick. And yeah. Rex 3 had a good run today. All right, it's been literal months since we last rode the Rex 3. You guys saw out at the dunes. Started puking fluid out of the front differential, and we got to fix that. So today's the day. Leaving to go to Oklahoma in about a week, and I need to figure out if I need a new differential or if this can be just simply fixed, which I'm hoping for. From a price perspective, that would be very good. So we're going to get to working on this right now, rip the front clip off of it, and snake this front differential out. So let's hope it comes apart smooth, but it probably won't. All right, it's a couple days later, got the Rex 3 all apart, and I shouldn't be surprised that the failure is what it is. It is unfortunate. I'm going to ask you guys shortly what you think caused this, because I have an idea, but it doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. Maybe someone with an engineering perspective can maybe, I don't know, tell me how this happens, but just take a look at this real quick. This is unbelievable. Not really, but it is. Okay, yeah, we got a front differential here with a giant crack in the case. Just destroyed. So I'm not really sure what I did to make that happen. Just doing some water skipping, as you guys saw, and then it just decided to let go. So the only thing I can think of, and this was kind of a concern of mine, is tire size. So I'm running these Pro Armor paddles in the back, advertised as a 32. Running these SS360s up front, advertised as a 32. As you can see here, the front is a lot bigger. So I don't know if somehow something could be binding up front and it somehow caused the case to break. I figured something else would have let go before then, but kind of is what it is. So if you guys got any idea on what could have caused that, that's really the only thing that comes to mind, because everything was working fine up until this day at the dunes. First time using that wheel and tire setup. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But we do have some new parts going on this that are going to make the serviceability / maintenance part of the Rex 3 a lot better. So we've got a CA Technologies front bulkhead gusset kit going on this. Had a different brand in here, and as I've said in previous videos, when you're building one of these, you should just use the same brand for all components. The stuff just matches up and meshes together a lot better. So had some issues with the one that was in there, interfering with one of the grease zerks on the control arms. So we're just going to eliminate that problem. Put this CA Tech gusset kit in here. It's going to fit well. Put in tons of those things. If you need one, get a hold of me, get you hooked up. We got to go back together. Also had some issues with some of the wiring for the sensors that go in the shocks, for the smart shocks. The connector just broke on the passenger side, so I'll have to repair that. On both the shock side and the vehicle side, going to have to change the connector out to some other style because, well, you either have to buy a whole new harness or buy a whole new harness to fix that, just the way that the connector broke. So I'm just going to find like a weather pack connector, fix that. Shouldn't be a big deal. But I'm just going to throw this thing back together, start on it at least. Had McDonald's, so my stomach isn't doing super good. It's been a couple weeks since I've had McDonald's. Been trying to watch what I eat, but might have to go to the bathroom first. I'll let you guys know how that goes as well. Also, just had some weird, stupid bolts that wouldn't come out of this thing, like the lower ball joint bolt and the passenger side. Let me see if I can find that old unit. Had to air hammer that out. That was not super enjoyable. Maybe this thing just disappeared, never to be seen again. Wouldn't be super mad. It was all bent and just junk looking, so just trust me on that. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom and work on this. All right, we're back on four wheels. It's the next day. Did some wiring repairs. I'll clean that up quick. Smart Shocks wiring. Didn't feel like buying a new harness for $120, nor was it available soon. So got a new battery in here. Light is just on my impact. We'll see if this thing fires up. Battery's in. About 19 pounds of mud underneath that thing. Not really a surprise. Let's see here. No Smart Shocks wiring lights. That's cool. There we go. Been a friggin' month since this thing's ran, I feel. Longer than that, maybe. Trail exhaust. You know where to get one. Hit me up. Oil and speed engine. You know where to get one. Hit me up. Good unit. Let's back this thing out, let it run, and we'll change the oil in this unit. All right, the Rex 3 is all wrapped up. Oil change is done. Tires are swapped over. It's on a trailer ready to go to Oklahoma, so we'll be on our way to Oklahoma shortly for the Side-by-Side USA Fall Hootenanny, and hopefully we have a great time there. Hopefully we don't break much. Should be a good time. It always is. So appreciate your guys' support in this matter. We'll be back here in a couple days with some hopefully pretty entertaining stuff that doesn't involve any damage to my machine or my body or anybody else's. So appreciate your guys' support in this matter. We'll see you in a couple days.